Welcome to the Blue Cafe. We offer stories of infidelity, betrayal, and redemption. Please like and subscribe. Cheers. Now, on to today's story. Wife who left husband and kids for AP is now worried over divorce agreement because of the financial hit she will take. Progress. Hey everybody. So my cheating wife who left me and our 2 daughters to be with her affair partner is now having a panic attack over the divorce agreement because she won't be able to afford anything due to child support and debt under her name only that I was helping her pay for during our marriage since I do make more than she does. She texted me saying that I was trying to ruin her as much as I could. The fact that she's more upset over the inevitable financial burden that she'll get hit with rather than the fact she left her 2 kids and betrayed her spouse twice, I'm speechless. She has an X amount of days to sign the agreement or else she will need to lawyer up if she's not happy according to my attorney. Just wanted to share a small update since my last post was posted 2 weeks ago. Thanks again for everyone's support. Me and the girls are doing just fine so far. I'm just happy that I can be that sane, loving parent they can rely on for the rest of their lives. Hey, do you hear that? Yes, it is the tiny little violins. She should have known that the risk of cheating would be divorce, which in most cases is a 50/50 split. And if she does not work full time, get ready. Stay strong. And of course, I am sorry for you and your family. Hey, do you hear that? Yes, it is the tiny little violins. I also prefer the sad trombone as an overlay. Cue the Curb Your Enthusiasm soundtrack. I seriously think we should have Mr. Krabs play a little violin meme aloud whenever this happens, so that we can be amused by a cheater's stupidity. She is starting to discover that the grass is not greener on the other side. The next phase may involve her wanting to come back to the marriage. Do not respond to any of her comments, i.e. grey rock, and continue to focus on the divorce agreement only. Sending strength. Next phase is probably demanding full custody to avoid child support. Op might be in for a custody fight now. Keep proof of being the primary custody parent. Not just to avoid child support, but to get the best tax break available, and government support benefits, as well. Not just to avoid child support, but to get the best tax break available, and government support benefits, as well. And to claim single mother status for public sympathy. Yup. I prefer the saying grass is greener over the septic tank. She has now realized the shit she has to deal with. Great Irma Bombeck reference. I loved Irma but never read that one. I'll have to go down the Amazon rabbit hole and order everything I don't have from her. And since I'm there, I might as well add a dash of Robert Fulghum. Her AP was in it for the free sex, not to help her pay her debt. The risk of monkey branching is sometimes you grab a snake that looks like a branch and fall. Best to not rely on other people for your life direction. I know her AP will play the good boy by paying for her as much as he can now, but later will get tired of it, real fast. I'd what her long-term plan was because this was some teenage BS. Anyways, I'm mentally trying to prepare if she does end up trying to say sorry and hope everything will be back to normal, which it never will, even though I wish things were never this way. Do not be afraid to lean on your family or friends for emotional support, as it is going to be tough if/when she tries to come back. She's trying to make me feel guilty moving forward, but I'm no longer that person to fall for such lies anymore. Also, she really had the audacity to say that she shouldn't be paying a lot of child support because 1, I make more money than she does, 2, she needs money to live. Just unbelievable, complete nonsense. But thank you and everyone for their best wishes. I'll give another update as soon as it's completed and or my spouse tries to come back. Co-parenting with a narcissist. Any tips? Co-parenting and divorce. Hey everyone, just wanted to see if there was any parents out there that currently or have co-parented with a narcissist and what tips or suggestions you would recommend. I've been parenting alone for almost a month while my soon-to-be ex-wife continues to be out of state to cheat, have fun, live the single life. Occasionally she'll have a few minutes of FaceTime with the kids, but nothing more than that. Don't worry, divorce is in progress already. I'm aiming for sole physical custody with supervised visitation, and my lawyer has strong confidence it'll be true based on multiple factors. Anyhow, I don't hate my STBXW, but I don't consider her as a friend right now based upon the many disrespectful acts she has committed. However, I'm not letting this situation affect how I treat or communicate with her in front of our children. I want my toddlers to grow in the best possible environment when both their parents are in the same room. Thanks for reading and providing your recommendations. Cheers. Stick to court custody orders, or written custody agreements while waiting for court order. This means don't ask for the kids on days she has them and don't give them to her on days you have them. Custody agreements and orders are clearly defined boundaries that can and should be followed. If something ever comes up, like wanting to take the kids on a trip on a weekend she may have a visit, have it go through lawyers. Don't engage in emotional abuse. If she baits you with anything towards you/her in front of the kids especially, end the conversation quickly or don't engage/respond with anything she might react to back. Never talk negatively about her to your parents or your kids. Kids will grow up learning to trust you and feel safe opening up to you when they don't need to worry about protecting their mom's reputation or personality. Don't talk to your parents about her because you can't guarantee that your parents won't mention her name in a negative context around the kids. Conversations about the ex should be short, clean and factual, or non-existent if possible. Don't converse if the topic isn't related to the kids. Don't get trapped in a convo that starts off about the kids and ends up being about something else/personal. If the relationship is over, you are business associates whose contact should strictly be about your shared interest in raising good kids. That's it. The hard one, try to support her role as a parent even if she's been a shitty partner. You don't have to do this directly, your lawyer can relay info to hers etc, but support your kid's love for her. Don't question her on how she's spending child support. Again, this should go through court/lawyers if there's concerns. Get the kids excited about their visits or calls with her. People struggle with this a lot. But she is a parent too, regardless of how present. Your kids can and will decide for themselves, at some point, if they want much to do with her. When you don't engage in abuse/drama/fighting/criticizing etc, the kids see you as secure and stable, and this will only strengthen their relationship to you. I definitely have experience co-parenting with and divorcing a narc. Previous answer is great. I found number 1 especially important. The only thing I would add would be I only communicate with mine through writing, text or email. I would pick up the phone if he called, but if it wasn't an emergency I would hang up and tell him to text me. Maintain consistent, healthy boundaries and be patient/practice mindfulness. Similar situation 10 years ago. I divorced her, took full custody, eventually moved away, she never bothered visiting, and remarried, and my new wife has since adopted my son outright. Keep your head on straight and you'll do just fine, brother. It's hard, you'll make it. PM'd me if you ever need to talk about it. Been there, done that. Hey man, what meds exactly did your wife go on? Were they antidepressants? I'm assuming so since they frequently are. You mentioned to me in DMs that. It is strange how heartless she is. She used to be very loving, caring, and would do anything for her kids. Again, ever since she took therapy and started taking medication, it completely changed her. Like it erased her trait of being empathetic. And she ends up just bailing on her kids. Man, this is a mother. Something isn't right. Not trying to call you out, just actually curious about other Redditors more familiar with antidepressants. I know antidepressants do really weird things, and curious about other people's thoughts on her just abandoning her family, maybe being tied to a poor dosage or brand or something. I'll delete if you just figured this might be important. It's possible that she has bipolar and is in mania. Regular SSRIs can be bad for people with bipolar. They need lithium. With my unprofessional background, her past actions from past posts seem similar to bipolar people I've known. So SSRIs and being bipolar, can it be bad as in just making insane decisions like just leaving your family? Stuff like that? It's more like bipolar does that, the mania, but SSRIs can make it worse. I would imagine if it has been a month or more, with documented proof, it would be difficult for her to get any visitation rights. I think it would fall under abandonment. If she does want to see the kids, use a co-parenting app so all is documented. Lots of good advice here. Stick to apps as opposed to talking to her unless it's an emergency. Time and distances is your friend. Glad to hear the deep process is happening. Be careful as she may flip and get lovey-dovey. Stay the course and do what's best for you and your kids. Good luck and best wishes. I was raised by narcissists, so I was going to say get out of the relationship if you can. I would actively teach the children empathy, and make sure the narc isn't brainwashing them in any way. I've had to unlearn so much BS from my childhood. I say, don't co-parent with a narc. They will actively turn your kids against you. The narcissistic will view you as the villain and themselves as the valiant, merciful hero of the story, and will thus constantly lie to your kids, if not actively make excuses to destroy your kids' hopes and dreams. Don't go for it. It would be better to get a restraining order on the narc and not let her mingle with your kids. How would you approach a situation if your spouse who has mental illness is being taken advantage of by their AP and isn't getting professional help? Advice. I wanted to ask others for their opinion on this, or those that may have experienced something similar in nature. Let's say your spouse has mental illness, suffers from depression and BPD. She gets into an affair, you suspect her AP takes advantage of her, and the opportunity then continues to say nice things to make her feel good to fulfill his ongoing sexual needs. Would you reach out to your spouse or the AP to simply seek professional help soon as possible, or would that be pointless and make everything worse? Should I just leave them both and have them figure it out in their end? I still care for my wife's well-being and overall health regardless of the infidelity, but I feel guilty inside because I don't want her being taken advantage of by her friends and the AP enabling her to do things that are or potentially hurting her in the long run. I'm stuck. Maybe I'm just trying to make excuses and should just continue to move forward with my own life. A piece of me wished I was paying more attention to her mental health. Leave them both. Not your problem anymore. I'm glad this is at the top it should be. Remove yourself from the situation, you will only bring yourself more grief. Their decisions are theirs alone. Staying involved will only hurt you. Exactly. Not your monkey, not your circus, at least, not anymore. Take care of your kids and yourself, that's all you should worry about. Godspeed. The thing is, even if you would approach her, she wouldn't listen to you because she feels that she gets what she wants from her AP. Because of that, it makes no sense to approach her because of her mental illness. Only if she realizes that herself, she can take a step to get herself out of that. All you can and should do is to move on with your life. My thoughts exactly. He can't make her. She's this. Even if she started to question, AP would probably just gaslight her, saying you're vindictive. Not your monkey, not your circus. Move on with your life. I swear I wanted to write those exact same words. If I was you, would use the situation to get the best deal for you and the kids. Then after the divorce, worry about helping her. I would recommend letting her hit bottom on her own. Sometimes, a person does need to hit rock bottom in order to finally wake up. It's sad, but true. Her mental health issues don't take away her autonomy and agency. She is still perfectly capable of making the right decisions, even if it is harder for her than the average person. A recovering alcoholic makes the choice to not drink every day, despite it being harder for them than a person who has never touched a drop of alcohol. Your spouse could have stopped at any point. She could have said no. But she ultimately didn't. Saying no might have been harder for her due to BPD or whatever, but she still could have said it. You don't need to feel guilty about not helping her. She could have said no. She could have sought help and treatment for her mental disorder before that disorder possibly helped to put her on this path. She could have walked away after her mistake, begged forgiveness, and tried to reconcile with you. But she chose not to do any of these things. Her mental illness may be a contributing factor in her choices, but they are all ultimately choices that she chose. Not to mention that if she felt being taken advantage of, she could have asked her spouse for help. Are you a therapist? If so, is she a client? If not, then it wasn't on you to fix. She cheated, her choices let her get into the situation if nothing else. Not your pig, not your farm. Good luck. She won't thank you. She sees you as still trying to interfere. Not your problem anymore. You could be there to pick up the pieces. Why would you? She doesn't have your best interests in mind. Worry about yourself. She's a big girl and is making her own decisions. You will destroy your mental health and possibly other aspects of your life trying to care about someone with BPD, much less remain in a relationship with that person. Your best hope to get out of this situation without much worse scars is to leave and go North Carolina. You cannot help someone with BPD, they have to want to help themselves at some point, and they rarely ever do, because when they are manic they feel on top of the world. You will only cause yourself extreme distress trying to stay in a relationship with her, and there is a lot of potential for many more aspects of your life to get really screwed up. You are right. The more I think about it, the more her mental illness has actually damaged me along the way. Not just the relationship between us. I kept trying my best to be supportive since this was my first experience of being in a relationship with my partner having mental illnesses. I had to educate myself, learn from her, etc. Nothing really satisfied her nor helped. I just have to shift my mindset going forward and tell myself I tried my best and that's all that matters. My kids need at least one sane parent in their lives. It's just saddening how things have unfolded. When BPDs come down from their manic state, they are often horrified by their actions. This is such a tragic condition because plenty of BPDs don't choose to act out hypersexually and cheat on their due. However, hypersexuality is a common choice they make when manic. They suffer from impulse control and also believe that every choice is great because of the manic condition. I am in the same situation. My now ex-wife has mental issues and her multiple APs knew what to say to her, that she was hot, that she was sexy, etc. to get what they wanted from her. I struggled with trying to help her, but in the end that's probably part of why many people cheat. It sucks, but it is what it is. I once told her she needed counseling and she absolutely said she did not. The crazy part is my STBXW said that her AP said all these nice things and was there for her while she was at her lowest. I'm like her. One of my female best friends came over and did the exact same thing for me, but you don't see me having sex with her? I don't get that notion. Again, never cheated, never will. My morals and integrity are too important to me. I'm sorry you are going through this. I understand how you feel, and for a long time, I felt the same. I didn't know my ex was diagnosed with depression. My ex-husband and his family hid it from me. When I discovered his affair, his AP alluded that it was my fault, so he listened to her and left our family soon after discovery to be happy. I asked his parents if his depression diagnosis is true, and only then, I was told the truth. They said that I saved him, and after he met me, things changed exponentially, that they thought he was healed. Anyway, my ex-husband is worse off today than before. He said he thought leaving would make him happy, but he was wrong. I asked him to get help, but he refused to. He did some crazy stuff during divorce that caused him custody. He can gain it back if he gets help, but is he getting it? No. Is he still with AP? Yes. You know what he said? Because he said he has nobody else. I think he just talked to 2 of his male friends, but he pushed everyone else away too. My point is, we can't help someone who doesn't want to be helped. Your wife is an adult and should know better. If she is depressed, she should talk to you so you both can figure out a plan. You aren't her parent. You are her partner. It's about communication, not hiding and seeking someone else. Don't forget that her infidelity is a clear disrespect for your marriage, and if you do not lose yourself, infidelity also destroys your feeling of self-worth. My suggestion is put you first and let her figure it out. The more you try to help her, the more you risk hurting yourself. You may get stuck in this cycle trying and trying. You don't deserve that. I'm sorry that you had to go through all of that, and I appreciate the fact you had a similar experience to mine. If you don't mind me asking, did your ex-husband try to combat you with his own attorney during the divorce process? How often does he reach out about your children? Has he tried to lure you back in acting like nothing happened? But yes, the more I try only puts me in a bad position mentally and emotionally, so I'll have to keep trying to focus on my priorities and the well-being of my children. We hope you have enjoyed today's episode. Please comment, like and subscribe. Cheers. Have a wonderful day or night, wherever you are.